Hey everyone, it's Jay, your host of the Tragedy Academy. I wanted to tell you about one of our fantastic affiliates, Into the AM. They offer the perfect basic tee that you've been looking for. Made with high quality materials and a comfortable, relaxed fit, these tees are perfect for any occasion. Whether you're hitting the gym or heading out to dinner, these tees have you covered. With a range of colors to choose from, you're sure to find a tee that fits your personal style. So if you need some new essential tees, check out Into the AM's collection by going to our website, thetragedyacademy.com, selecting sponsors and affiliates, and following the link to Into the AM. All purchases made through the Tragedy Academy website support our message and the show. Thanks for listening and happy shopping.
Gary, are you alive?
I'm alive.
Yeah, I think Jay, I think that's a good point. You know, you said something, you touched on something interesting, is like you work on the art, you put it out. You go to work, you put it out. You know, it's like, it reminded me of one of my favorite books called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't. I've heard of The Art of War. So that's why I was like, I've never heard The War of Art. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary, have you heard of that? Have you heard of this book?
I have that book. It's one of the few. I've finally read through almost every book that I have, and I recently found, I think, one of the Swedish Jews. Somebody gave me that book a long time ago, and it's one of the ones that I'm like, I have to just finally read this one.
Yeah, it's so good. It'll challenge every bit of any part of you that is either dragging its feet or on ideas or stuff, or it just like really makes you self-check, like A, why you're doing the creative work, and then B, like what's getting in the way. And then what Stephen talks about is we're all challenged in life. It doesn't matter what we're doing. It can be art, it can be any kind of job, any kind of thing that is creative, even any kind of skill set, is that we're challenged with what he calls resistance. And resistance will come in any type of form. It'll come in, aches and pains. It'll come in, oh, I'm not feeling well today, or it'll come in, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, and it'll come in it'll look like anything. It'll look like a distraction, like, oh, hey, my friends are going out to go party, but you should be working on this project to get it done, or whatever it is, or building this business. It's such a good read for internal, not only motivation to get yourself going, but inspiration to get your spirit going into the right direction. And so I highly recommend that book for any
we'll
creative.
put it in the show notes. I'll read it for sure.
Wonderful.
Because he's got a second book, Do the Work, right? Or something like that.
Yep.
Because I have both. Somebody gave me both books, but a quick funny side. So when I was 12 years old, I went on my very first vacation. Stayed at the Mirage in Las Vegas, of all fucking places, right? And that trip completely changed my life. I got to go to UNLV basketball game, and it was when they had Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon, and it was the best college team ever. And at the time, living in Cleveland, and my dad got some money, which ended up not being done the proper way. He ended up, federal government decided to take action after that. And, sometimes, not to get too much into the deep personal shit, my old man will beat himself up about not doing enough for whatever, but he's always there at these pivotal moments, and he didn't realize it, but, he took us there, and we didn't have money growing up at all. We always had love and a roof and clean clothes, but they weren't designed, like, we always had what we needed, but we never had money, and mom worked 3 jobs just to, keep the lights on, but she did. And didn't know that I was poor until later on, because everyone around me was in the same thing, you know. But at the time, we never got to go. We went to Conneaut Lake was our vacation spot. We went to a place called the Skeeto Motel, and it is the shit that nightmares are made of. I mean, I just remember like half full green, like beer cans floating in the top, and then we go in like the worst part of Pennsylvania. That was our.
Why is the motel this thing? Why did the motel become something completely different than the hotel?
Yeah, in the 80s. I mean, this place was a nightmare, right? This is like where like COVID and meth started at the Skeeto Motel. But we're in Vegas from Skeeto Motel in Conneaut Lake, fucking Pennsylvania, right? So lights, camera, action, right? And I had a similar experience. Like, I hated it because I couldn't do anything. Same thing. Like, there's a pathway through the mirage, and there's these big rocks. And I would sit on these fucking rocks, like, and for like hours and watch the action. My dad would be playing craps, and I'm on this fucking rock. And there's like a waterfall behind you, and like these bridges, and like you can't get off the fucking rock, or like, get the fuck out of here, you know? And you're like, this sucks. And the smallest arcade at the Mirage, like fucking thing, like street in the corner. You know, I don't even like video games. That's all I did, you know. Then got to go to this game, and I didn't become a basketball player, but UNLV had the best show. They had Tark Kenyon Tark the Shark was the coach. So it'll go dark, and they play the Jaws music, and they'd have a video of the shark going around like the whole crowd, and boom, fucking explosions, and like cheerleaders come out, and the team takes the court, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I never saw anything like this before. I'd gone to a couple Cavs games, you know. The FBI, who was playing the role of my Uncle Pete at the time, decided to take me to a Cavs game, and then arrest my father later on. But yeah, it was funny because I went to that UNLV game, and then the FBI took me to a Cavs game the next month, and they turned out not really beat my Uncle Pete. And yeah, they decided to just try our legs at the time. That's different, but these two games that I went to, basketball games, changed my life. One, stay at the Mirage. I was 12 years old exactly.
That's crazy.
Like probably a year before you did, because I think I'm probably a year older than you too. But it's nuts, because when I got in a lot of trouble growing up, and I always had this like vision of making it to Las Vegas, and I never went back until I ended up moving there. Or maybe I went back one time because my grandparents ended up moving there, but it's like a different experience. We went to the Strip, stayed out in like the trailer park on Buffalo, like where they stayed, you know. But there's always that one thing, like I got locked up, or I was going through like hell and like depressed, or, you know, thought people were going to kill me, or like whatever the case would be. Like, it's Las Vegas, this thing I had to get to, you know. And I ended up getting out there with a 1990 Corsica, $400, and start my journey, you know. And but it's at 12 years old, fucking Mirage, man. Like, we never talked about this before.
I didn't know that story. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
we had a similar encounter at the Mirage. And the Mirage symbolically is like this thing you can't see in the distance, but it's there, but it's not there. It's an illusion. But
right, you know how when you play Mario Kart by yourself and it'll show the shadow person next to you,
yeah,
like at the same time that's like on the track with you.
Yeah,
I'm envisioning like you at the Street Fighter machine, and then him, like a ghost him next to you in an alternate time, doing the exact same things and thinking about the exact same situation.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was like behind the waterfall, like it's like this little room where they stuck their kids. It wasn't like the big arcades now.
It was a small room. It wasn't big. It wasn't a big room.
Yeah. Did they get a ticket when they dropped you off?
Yeah, it's basically
like a goat.
Yeah, just stick your kids there. Like, they had the Excalibur in there.
It was like a daycare.
Started like trying to make it for families, but like the Excalibur and like Circus, saying clean Circus since that time.
Right.
It's a nightmare now, but yeah, it's crazy, you know. And like to see, you know, the progression of, you know, of everything in Vegas, and with like Vegas is the place where magic won't die, and like people forget. It's the kind of thing where you don't like magic till you watch magic again.
Why do you want magic to die?
Like, people,
I don't understand that.
People, it's like, and I think it's like cyclical. Like, a magician will come to like change the game in a way, and then people remember like, hey, this shit is cool. Like, I love magic.
Well, it's because there's a lot of bad magic. So when people see magic, they're usually seeing bad magic, but when they see good magic, it's game changing. Good magic is hard to come by, and when you see it, it's like it's a true art form. But there's a lot of bad magic when you go to like little talent shows and, you know, in your local area or whatever, or there's just a lot of bad magic. It's just unfortunate.
The Carnival Cruise Line magician that's all angry. We talked about this.
There's some amazing.
I'm not knocking
cruise
on
ship,
them all.
yeah, but there's also some that are probably not the greatest. But guess what? I've been that magician before. I've failed miserably, you know, where I just wanted to crawl in a hole after I performed and not come back out. Like it was.
So you've had a trick or a illusion flop big time in front of God and everybody?
I've had.
What's that like?
It's not good because as a magician, the only thing I could compare it to, but not knowing, is like being a comedian and going out and just completely tanking because nobody's laughing. But as a magician, when you fail, it becomes so devastating because people usually see how you failed and see how simple things are with magic construction and illusions. And so it's really just a bad failure because and there's not many pivots that you can do, and there's not many contingencies you can do in certain circumstances. So I've had nightmares of effects happen where the whole thing has been revealed in front of thousands of people, and but it's those failure moments that build your character, and like you have to fail, just like you've heard a million times, like all these motivational speakers and sports players and stuff. It's like you have to know the emotions of failure in the moment of failure, so that when you are building your craft and your skills, you're learning what works and what doesn't work. And so it just makes you better. And then, so now to the point where if I just mess up an effect or something, I don't even care. I just laugh and I keep it moving. I don't even care one bit.
Dude, that's the same thing with podcasting now. It's like, the stuff that I used to freak out about.
Yeah.
Every little word, listening to every sound, all these things. And now I'm like, like it's funny to think about, you know, how I used to be with it. But you have to have a love affair with your art in order to appreciate it. It's got to be something that, you know, just like a relationship with your significant other. There's good days and bad days, but you wouldn't replace your significant other. Right? Because that is the one thing that you want in your life, a constant. Right? The bullshit that comes with it doesn't matter. That's kind of like it's a background noise. Right? And almost it wouldn't be good without it.
No, and plus I say this, it offers contrast. Bad moments or bad experiences or failures offer contrast so that you can see when you see something beautiful or amazing experience or success, you know what to contrast it up against. Because if we were just living in a utopia all the time where you're nailing every art form or every successful pitch or whatever you're doing, then you wouldn't enjoy it. You wouldn't know what the failure's like, so you wouldn't enjoy, right? The good stuff.
If all food was sweet, we wouldn't know what sweet was.
Right.
It would just be a baseline.
It'd be baseline.
We'd never be happy. We'd just hate sugar after a while.
100%.
You mentioned Cobain and like Winehouse, and like which artists that are great like had two parents in the home that were normal, like the H&R Block, and they never fought and just showered their kids with love, you know, and like
those are serial killers. We've already established this.
It's like not to say your parents can't love you and shower you with love or like shit but like most Biggie and Marley and, you know, you name it, like that the creative people, you know, like there's fucking pain they're just spilling out a lot of time in the struggle. Like if you didn't have to sleep in your car or wherever your next meal was going to come from, or burn the fucking boats and just not know if you were ever going to make it, like rarely can you get to a point that's life-changing for yourself, other people, and like game-changing. You know, you gotta sell out, like just be like, this is it at some point, you know, like, and I'm not gonna quit, you know, Dallas can do a million things. So, like, he's one of those guys in Vegas that's connected to everybody, and they all want him to work for them and go do their shit because he's smart, he's good with people. He's a creative, but he's also organized. Like, he's people.
That's
will
a
hire him.
miracle. How did that happen?
Yeah, just figured it out, and like, but people will hire him and give him a lot of money at any time, right? But he didn't, if he took those types of jobs, like, and this is just me looking from the outside in, it was with production companies or production, and like, he's learning pieces that he didn't already have. You guys are both the same in like editing, right? Like, he edited a lot of these projects that he did. He didn't know shit from Shinola, as my mom would say about editing. It's the same thing with you. Like, I hate editing, but like, you were going to figure it out. You both like are phenomenal editors, but it started out like not going to film school to be an editor. You're like, I need to edit this shit together that I have. Like, how am I going to do it? And like, you guys both, like, I suck, and I've tried, and I never will be good at it. But like,
of course you will, man.
I know too many people like you guys that will like just edit and stuff, like, but it's like one of those things where I'm just going to figure it out. Like, I need this piece of the puzzle. I get to sit around and like, it's like the camera work with me. I want to do all these things, and I didn't always have a camera guy, and then they would fucking die in my notebook or on my laptop. Eventually, I was like, I need
such a great
camera
point
and figure out how to just fucking point that thing and keep it in focus enough to like make this thing that I want to do right now. And like, a lot of people won't do that. They'll sit around forever and be like, I don't have a sound guy, so I gotta go shoot that. I'm like, you got a microphone? Can you buy one? Can you rent one? Maybe you botch the sound and it doesn't work at all, but the next time you're gonna remember how you botched it that last time, and you're not gonna make that mistake. You maybe fuck it up again 5 times, but on that 6th time, you nail it, and now you have like, and you gotta know what could go wrong too. Like, when you get to that big stage, you gotta remember that illusion you fucked up in 12th grade, or you gotta remember that rap that you forgotten, or you gotta remember that like presentation in front of the boss that you screwed up when you were an intern, when you're the CEO about to change the lives of your whole corporation. You need to go,
to hit mute now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That, or, like, hey, it's better to keep them waiting 10 minutes than not have the PowerPoint presentation on the computer, the screen the right way. Or like,
amen. Yeah. You don't walk in half dressed.
Yeah. Like,
and late.
Yeah. You want to make those mistakes. Like, I work with the fighters, and like a lot of bad coaches and managers like pad their fighters' amateur records. And I'm like, you want your fighter to have losses. If you don't have losses on your amateur record, to me, like, that's a mistake. Like, you need to lose as an amateur. Like, you're not a good grappler. You should be fighting good grapplers that are going to tap you the fuck out when you're an amateur. If your striking sucks, like, now's the time to get punched in the face by the amateur. Now, when you get in, use your...
That's a great point. Yeah. You don't want day one to be on, like, the knuckles of Anderson Silva.
No. Yeah, and the great grapplers will grapple their way to a level. When they get to a great striker, he's just a good enough grappler to stay on his feet to kick you in the fucking neck. And then, then it's lights out in front of everybody.
I can say my art doesn't kick me. Thank God.
Yeah, it will. Somehow. Me and Jay, like, I was, Dallas, I don't know if I told you, but, I was a guest on the podcast a couple years ago, and then we became friends, and he invited me to join, and we have similar thoughts on, a lot of things that, the important stuff. But he's been starting to help me out with all my independent projects, editing and doing the graphics and all this stuff. So I love this. And I'm like, just wait till, I'll you do something that's going to make this thing suck really bad. And it's going to suck. And I know it's going to suck. He's the one that's going to pay for it. And you're going to take this really cool thing you just made and fucking make it suck so you can get the money. And I'm like, he's like, oh, it'll be fine. And I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. You work very hard on this thing, and it's really cool. And now it's got to suck. And then that's what everyone's going to see is the suck one. It's like, this guy wants to like do this thing. No fucking sense. He, works in fucking Missouri somewhere, or, fucking Maine or whatever. And this company wants this cool thing, and you give them this cool thing, like, oh, it's cool. What if it just was purple? Like, I don't know. Like, it just blows.
They just crap on the middle of it. Like, it's like you have a vanilla, big cake, and somebody just drops a poo right in the middle of it and says, now it's good. No, it was
or you have this
fine before
beautiful
this.
cake that's delicious and multi-tiered, and then you're like, we just want vanilla. Like,
it happens all the time in the creative business. It
Yeah.
happens all the time. Your art or your creative project gets stripped away, but that's okay, because we have to learn how to collaborate. We have to learn how to, even if they make the wrong decision on the creative output, or they on their notes, we have to learn what those notes, what happened from those notes, and what the outcome was. And those are good experiences too, even though they don't feel good at first. Somebody's stripping away your creation. But sometimes it's like, you've heard this before. It's like when you make something creative, we want to be attached to it. So like I practice the art of detachment a lot. It's like once I create something, it's like, and I put it out, it's no longer mine, and it's only everyone else's to then make their opinion about what it does for them, or hopefully it does something for them, entertains
Sounds
them.
liberating.
But it's like just letting go of it and just going, I don't care anymore. I'm on to the next thing. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm proud of what I did, but I'm not attached to it. Like, I can completely rip apart any of my old stuff now and make fun of it, or just be like, okay, I made this mistake. I would have done this differently, but I don't care. Like, people can say everything they want to say about it. Like, oh, this should have been done, or I saw this magic thing he did there, or I wouldn't have chose this or that. Okay, that's great. It's not mine anymore.
I like that
it doesn't
mindset.
matter. The art of detachment, it's liberating, like you said. It's freeing, and it allows you to focus on the present moment. Because
mindfulness,
when we sit back and we look back in the past at our past traumas or our past projects, that's not the direction we're heading. We're heading this way. We're heading forward. And so we need to focus on the present moment, on the present project, on the steps and tasks that'll get us, to the future, and not look back. Look back to celebrate our wins and losses, our lessons, but not to attach emotionally to them.
Just let them be. Funny. Like, you'll sit around with your boys and talk about the losses. We used to break each other's balls like you wouldn't believe, about for all these years. I have made amazing things. I've put 600 episodes of television on the air. I'm Emmy nominated. I've made phenomenal things. They will talk about a rap video I did in 1999 for the rest of my life. And it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
We made that for $100, 24 hours to shoot it, edit it, make whatever, and pull it out of brass. Terrible. We did that on shit from Best Buy, and my the co-star in the video borrowed his stripper girlfriend's Lexus to shoot it. We had $100 budget. 60 of it was spent on Hennessy. Shit,
priorities.
Yeah, but everyone in that fucking video is fucking killing it right now. We have multiple Emmy-winning directors. We have the cinematographer who's in Europe making $80 million movies. We have everyone in that video went on to murder it. But man, we had this one thing to point at from 1999 that was terrible. Now
it's not an accident.
Yeah, no, you have to do that, and you mentioned earlier about how making stuff for a lot of people just don't make shit. They don't use their imagination ever. They don't do anything. They paint, draw, build Legos, fucking they don't play. They don't do shit that's that. They go to work all day and then they stare at the TV, and then that's it. Even me in a creative world, I did that for years. I just fucking made some shit for fun and stared at the TV.
It's interesting. Sorry, Gary. I was just almost cut you off there. You said something interesting about they don't play, they don't create. So what happens with people when they bury their creative drive or creative self is that they will go then watch play. They'll watch sports. They'll watch TV. They'll watch reality. They'll watch internet. They'll get caught up in other people's play. And sit and watch and be a spectator, which is okay, but not all the time. And so they've replaced their internal creativity with watching other people's creativity or other industries' creativity. And I'm not saying don't watch any of that stuff. I'm just saying, like, maybe take some of that back for yourself and go play with your children. Go play anything. Go draw, like Gary's saying. Go build Legos. Who cares if you're an adult? Go do
get
something.
A gift wrap roller and sword fight somebody, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Have
blow
fun.
through it at your dog.
Just
That's what I do.
Yeah, just have fun and tap into that childlike ability of creativity and playfulness, and it makes you happier. Like, it makes you happier. It's healthy for your mind. It's healthy for your emotions. It's healthy for your spirit. So, yeah, if I could try to shake anyone up enough, is to, like, literally just don't watch TV as much. Don't watch movies as much. Like,
you're very, very spot on with this, and the donation of time. I like to consider it that because we are so ignorant to the present and that we ignore mindfulness to such a degree, you are correct. We sit down and we start consuming other people's art, other people's passions. And the converse to this situation is that if you're an artist or a creator, the onus is on you to put out meaningful content. Whether it's, whatever kind of art is fine, but if it's detrimental to the human experience, know that. Know that you're using that and somebody is taking that in as their only mindful moment. So just be sure that what you're creating is what can better humanity, not, bring it down even further.
Or just for yourself, even if you don't share it with people, but you create for yourself for your own enjoyment that makes you happier as an individual. That's also
That's what I love
positive.
about Gary. He's always sharing a piece of art that he's just working on for the hell of it. And that makes me remember at times that I should be not just creating with an end goal, but just actually just sit down and create, because this is what we're designed to do. I mean, again, it's no mystery why it's always now. It's the present. And that's why we're supposed to be creating 24/7, because we actually are. There's no past. There's no future. We're literally a sitting in place firework. We just get to pick the colors and how far we want to spray the shit around.
That's right.
Like, no one's ever going to buy one of my paintings, but I enjoy painting more than almost anything else right now, because no one's ever going to buy it, critique it, or even maybe see it. But so I could fucking paint whatever, But like, when I'm making music and I'm trying to sell it, or I'm making a TV show or a project and trying to sell it, no matter how much I think it's mine, voice in my head, it's like, when I sell this thing, you gotta do this. I might not even want that, but I spoke fucking paint. I'll never sell a painting, but like, I can fucking paint whatever I want. So it's like, having that, I didn't have that for years. I watched TV and made TV. I haven't watched TV in 3 years now. Not one fucking episode.
Me either.
I watch fights and sports, and I'll watch 4 or 5 minutes of something if everyone's talking about it, just to see how it's shot or whatever. But I have not binge watched a series or anything since the first week of COVID, and I guess I shouldn't be shitting on television because it's what I do for a living. But like, you don't have to only watch. And like, if you like playing Legos when you were 12, you fucking still like playing Legos right now. If you went to Toys R Us, if that's still a thing, and bought a fucking big Lego set and turned your phone off on a Saturday and built that shit, you would fucking love it if you liked it when you're 12 years old.
Hot Wheels.
Guarantee it.
Hot Wheels were the thing.
Bro, if I could buy a big ass set of brand new Hot Wheels
and
just go ape shit with it, I would be happy for like a solid month. Just leave me there alone with it.
I owe an ass tattoo still.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do an ass tattoo for it's a cop car, right? Or is that the pizza? Okay. Well, that's going to be a detention episode. I'm gonna try to get you to do that on the show.
During COVID, we went to Wyoming to shoot a show. We were there for 3 months on lockdown in the fucking Holiday Inn in Wyoming, and we'd go to set and back. And This guy Slappy, he's one of the best dudes I know, from Nashville. Happiest guy, one of the most talented camera guys I know. It was a street racing show, Street Outlaws, and every night we filmed there. There's a controlled environment, but real street races for real gambling. We couldn't gamble and did this for years, and now we're stuck in Wyoming, right? By 100-man crew, by 4 women, the logical, sane ones, but they were just outnumbered by dudes that aren't that. And guy Slappy was like, I got an idea how we're going to pass the time for the next couple months, whatever. So he made a big fucking drag track in the back of the hotel, Hot Wheels cars. And he got like a team for people to like play with. Well, it cut to like us calling the engineers at Mattel, finding the fastest ones off eBay, like every fucking Hot Wheels car in the state of Wyoming. People are taking the wheels off using graphite, like you name it. And like we were ridiculous with it. And I had the fastest car the whole time, called Black Jesus. It was a regular car I bought at the local one, but it beat everybody the whole time. I was up $1,800 smoking everybody for weeks, undefeated till this guy Scotty, motherfucking sound guy, the last day pulled out this like French cop car. And it was like very last. And I was like, I'll bet any amount of money. Whoever's got, I don't give a fuck. I'll bet everybody, no one bet, and he's just, he's like, I don't give a shit kind of guy, and he's covered in tattoos. Like, so he's like, winner has to get the loser's car, or the loser has to get the winner's car tattooed on their ass. And like, we'll do over like $700. Fuck yeah, let's do it. He just got taken out by the cops, man.
Oh, jeez.
The irony in that is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh, my gosh.
I got that car, like, I opened it up, and the Everlast song, Black Jesus, came on the radio.
Is there a way that we could create an illusion where he thinks he's getting a cop car on his ass, but it ends up being something just completely different and embarrassing? Worse than that?
That's possible.
It's not much worse than that. Like, I'm animate about police.
Oh,
Now
man.
you're gonna have a cop car on your ass.
Yeah, man.
That's not a good bet. That's not a good bet.
Yeah,
No.
I've been putting it off, and like, but I'm a man of my word.
Oh, shit.
I just got.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
At least it's inside the pants. I mean, and it's also a great way to figure out whether or not she's cool. Like, if she doesn't like your cop car on your ass, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just move
The
on.
worst part about it is like, it was Street Outlaws Fastest in America, and like the acronym is Sophia. So like in the design, it's got the name Sophia. So it's like kind of girls.
Also, how manly is a French cop car?
Good enough to take down.
What does it look like? I've got to see this
It's like
car.
a
Is it like
SUV? It's like whack.
any cop car that makes that
Yeah.
European sound?
They don't even got
Isn't
gas.
a
That's
strong
funny.
cop car?
I hear that, I'm like, you don't even have a pistol. You can fucking hit me with your little club. Copper. They call them
his
pockets.
little baton.
Yeah, great. Like Miracle.
Oh man, dude, I could do this all night. I would love to have you back on and actually just talk about some illusions and stuff. I had tons of questions that I didn't even get to.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you, do you think you could teach somebody a magic trick over the phone? Is that something that's possible to do? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Over.
You could? I'm just.
Yeah, it's possible. You want to do
No, you
what
can't
you want
make
me
me
to?
disappear.
We'll save that for next time.
Yeah,
I think we come up with a. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we'll plan something next time where
I like that.
I teach something for the viewers, for your audience.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do that next time.
Of course.
I'm already inviting you back. I'm assuming that you had a good time and that you want to be here. But
You guys are great, and Gary, I appreciate the invite here, and Jay, nice to meet you and to learn more about your guys' podcast and just these fun stories that we could share. And then
I think it's good to see you like talk about failures, because you have it. Everyone that knows you seems like you have it together. Like, you're always dressed well, you're always confident, like, and it's like those types of people got there somehow, and like you never let the people see you sweat, like you went through like a lot of trials and tribulations, but on the outside, like, you're always nailing it, and it was like you're building.
Gary, The reality is this. I've had so many failures. So many show pitches and shows gone wrong or other entertainment projects that didn't happen. But I don't mind. I just keep like taking them and building from them and learning and sharpening my sword and just it's all about the journey of life and this artist challenge of a career is to build and create, and failure is just part of life. That doesn't bother me anymore. It used to mess with my ego, it used to mess with me, and also it became challenging with money and stuff, but you just learn, you just keep going. And the thing is I worked around a lot of other entertainment producers and things, and I realized, being around some very, very successful ones, I realized they also had tons of failures, but they were good at just like keeping people focused on the successes. And it made me realize that you can just keep learning and keep taking risks, So, but now as I've matured, it's more about it's about finding focus and clarity so that I can reach my targets. So I'm not doing as many failures. They're more like I mitigate my failures better now by learning what to say yes to and learning what to say no to, and
wisdom
from
man.
The wisdom of the past failures. Oh, okay, if we don't do this time, then we need to consider this time, So, but it's all part of it. It's all part of it.
Well,
so
if everybody, when you listen to this episode and you heard the cosplay magic and some other stuff, we only touched on such a small piece of what you do and what you've done. Because the sleight of hand stuff, the close up magic you do, I was looking through all your videos. I was like, son of a bitch! Like I couldn't. It was blowing my mind watching all these, and the way that you're super open about what it is that you're doing and helping people, get interested in the art. Is super cool. So I encourage everybody to go there, take a look at those things. And I think the next time we have you on, we'll be able to showcase what it is that you're doing on here.
Oh yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something special.
Oh, that'd be amazing, dude.
It'll drive
I appreciate you, Gary.
It'll drive me crazy. I can't figure this shit out, man. It's like,
Be a kid. You're supposed to be amazed. You're not supposed to figure it out.
And he will fucking
enjoy it.
He will not crack. And I'm like, you did that shit in 99. Tell me. I can't tell you.
No.
Fucking tell me.
You don't want to know. Yeah, you don't want to know.
He's probably right. Because when you do hear him, like, mother.
Yeah.
He sticks to the code, man. He just not.
Discernment's a bitch. Once you have it and you can see people not knowing who they are, you can move shit around their head like nobody's fucking business because they're concentrating on what? Their mask. They're not concentrating on you. They're concentrating on themselves.
No, I'm concentrating on his hands, fucking pocket, Anthony wearing. Those were earbuds.
Yeah.
Well, the goal of the next episode is to have you stump Gary, which doesn't seem to be that hard the way he's describing it.
Oh, it's all good. I'll entertain you guys.
Love it, man.
And some stumps will occur too. So we'll dive into both.
Yeah,
it'll be awesome. Gary, you got anything you want to close up on?
Like we have fighters on and we don't talk about fighting, and like we have musicians on and don't talk about, like, we always like it. I think it's a cool thing that like we're talking about the things that surrounding the thing, but it's like, when people interview you, they talk about magic the whole time. Mostly. When people interview about fighting, like they only talk fight you lost or the fight you won. Talk about a musician like how new album coming out, like but. I think it's like it's cool, and like I think maybe we should talk a little bit more about certain things when we have guests on. But I think it's cool that we talk about a lot about the life experiences surrounding or that led up to the things, because everyone's got a thing that they want to do, and they might not know how to like get there, or they might not have the confidence to fail. And like I have a Jay-Z shirt I wear all the time, and it says the genius thing that we did is we didn't give up, and nobody's first shit of anything is fucking dope. Jay-Z's first rhyme sucked balls. I guarantee it. Now's his first run. Fucking, I am Nas, and I'm happy to be, like whatever, yeah. No, Mike Tyson,
And I hate everybody.
first time Mike Tyson threw a hook, it was retarded. And then now that hook it will destroy your liver and throw it out the back of you at 6 years old.
Generations later, we'll have liver pain.
Yeah, like the first time you ride a bike, you fell off. But that same guy that does 3 backflips in the X Games, he fell off the first time you rode a bike too. Like it's if you want to get somewhere, and I don't want to be all Mr. Motivational speaker. You gotta fucking eat a lot of shit, man. You gotta scrape your knees up a lot of times.
Just gotta love the taste of shit.
Yeah.
That's all. Pick the right shit. Make sure you like peanuts or something. Pick the one that is your flavor and eat that one every day. Then you don't have to worry about it.
That's it.
How good that steak's gonna taste when you fucking spit the shit out finally and get that fillet. It's like
That's the worst way to clean your palate before a steak.
Yeah. So, like, me and Dallas ate them 99-cent fucking hot dogs at fucking casinos for a lot of years before we could go to fucking Ruth Chris, Dallas
I'm with you, man.
Heineken for $1 at the fucking place down the street in college. Like, God bless the
I just kind of threw up in my mouth listening to the words hot dog and Heineken in the same sentence.
It wasn't the place to live in college. Back in the day, Austin used to get the steak and eggs for $1.99. We used to fucking stay up till midnight to eat dinner.
I fucking love it. Well, I'm gonna wrap this one up, and we've agreed to have you back on. Thank you again, Dallas. I genuinely appreciate you, and thanks, Gary, for sharing more of your friends and family, dude. And remember, everybody, be cool and keep learning.